Hey guys, my name is Joshua, and I just kind of wanted to talk with you guys about different sphygmomanometers or blood pressure cuffs. There's various ones out there, and well, I've used a lot of different kinds, and there's just various ones that I like, various ones I don't like. Just compare and contrast of different ones. Now the basic BP cuff looks kind of like this. So it has your gauge right there, your bulb right there, and a cuff included, obviously. It uses a two-tube system, so your inflating cuff, your air goes into the cuff, and your bulb here, or your gauge here, takes a sample of the air, and that's where you get your millimeters of mercury from. So that's the cheapest route. That's the easiest one to go with, but it's just, there's nothing wrong with it at all. But some people like something different. Some people like a different way to get further from the patient, if you will. Put a little bit of a buffer between yourself and the patient. So there's other ones out there. The three that I have here happen to all be Welch Allyn branded. There's other ones by like ADC, and that's basically all that I know of. But like I said, the cheapest and easiest one to go with is your basic, like $10 one. Now these other ones, they get a little pricey, so well, let's dive into the first one. So the very first one by Welch Allyn is called the DS44. So basically all it is, it takes their Welch Allyn BP cuff, so the Flexiport is what they're called, and they have this little piece right here in the back, and that's where the actual blood pressure units go into, or the tubes go into. And so for this one, it uses a one-tube system. Bulb is right here, and gauge is right here. Well, on the back of it, that's where it actually plugs into the BP cuff. So it just goes in right like that. And so all I do is just use like a normal BP cuff, just inflate it, and everything is all in one system. Now, it's a very compact unit, very good unit. It can withstand a shock of like 30 inches, which doesn't sound like much, but it's actually pretty good. So I've used it on runs and everything. It's not my real go-to one. If I'm working in the back of the truck, it's definitely not my go-to one. This is a good one to keep in your pocket kind of thing. I like to keep one in the back of my truck. So whatever is easiest for you. Now the one gripe I have to say about it is you have to have it in a certain manner. So like if we're going with the artery right here, I'm able to see it on the patient, right? So I'm able to see it at the side. They keep their arm like that, stethoscope is right there. I'm able to see it. Well, the problem is, it happens every single time I need it really, really badly. If I reverse this and keep it in line with the artery, well, you see where it is now? I can't see it. So I have to take it off and then redo it again. I'm skinny, so I can just slip it right on and off my arm. But it's inconvenient sometimes, but you can actually turn the bulb around, or I keep calling it the bulb, the gauge around. You can actually turn it, and I've seen ones where you can actually turn or change out this rubber piece right here to like a different color. I don't know anything about that, but supposedly you can. But it's a very good unit. Welch Allyn. What's nice about Welch Allyn that I really like, for students, I think it's only students, you can actually get these calibrated for free. All you have to do is submit a picture of your school ID, I guess, and send it in, and they'll calibrate for free. They'll change out, whenever I was in school, they actually changed out like O2 rings. There was a list about this long of these stuff they changed out. So this is the DS44. It's accurate within plus or minus 3 millimeters of mercury, give or take, obviously. It can withstand a 30-inch drop. I've seen these. Now, I've never paid for any one of these systems, so I don't 100% know what they pay for or what they get. But I've seen these from around $20 with or without the cuff to like 50, 60. So I mean, that is their low-end model, unfortunately, but that's that one. So the next one I have, actually a flight nurse gave to me, and this is the one I really like. This is called the Tycos Aneroid Classic. This is an older one. It's very heavy. This whole piece right here is made of, it's probably steel, and it's withstood quite a bit of abuse. It uses a normal lure connector. It does use the same system that Welch Allyn has, the flex support system. So you still have that single port right here, but you do have a regular lure connector on the bottom side. I have a metal one here, which is what I have, but it takes a little bit of time to get used to compared to this one where your whole hand can take up that bulb. Your whole hand literally cannot take up that whole bulb, so it makes it a little cumbersome at times. And working with this, which your deflator, can be kind of annoying sometimes when if you don't know how to really do it. But after a while, I absolutely love it. I mean, it's yes, bulky, kind of gets in the way sometimes, but it gives me a fairly big buffer between myself and the patient. If that person's barfing all over the place, I can slap this on real quick, even though my stethoscope is still going to be fairly close to it. Who cares? I can still be somewhat further of a distance away. That's really not the only thing I really like about it. I just like how everything is like an all-in-one system. I really enjoy this. But it just goes in like this, like a regular lure connector. Inflate it, make sure it's closed, inflate it, look at the bulb, deflate it, and that's it. Really easy, pretty cool. This one runs from, I've seen them from like $19 to $250. I don't know how much it really truly could be worth. Obviously some people think it's worth like $19, other people think it's worth $250. I don't know. But I like it, it's very accurate, no issues ever with it. It's just a good unit. But they do not make this unit anymore. They do service it, but they do not make this unit anymore. Now the last one is a newer system. The very first one, the DS44, that's their bronze series. This is going to be their platinum series. So this is getting kind of high up there. This is called the excuse me, DS58. This is just like the Tycos Aneroid Classic. It's technically exactly the same, but there are some key differences. Some major key differences is this entire thing feels like plastic. I think it is plastic, unfortunately. This can withstand a 60-inch drop. I don't know about that other one, but this one is actually, it's pretty good, a lot bulkier. They have this raised up piece around the actual lens compared to the other one. The bulb works the same. It looks a lot bigger. It looks significantly bigger, but do not be deceived. This piece, this bulb actually starts further down here. There's like a piece of plastic or something. I don't know. I don't feel like taking it off. There's a piece of plastic that goes about all the way down there. So you're still getting about the same amount. This piece right here works exactly the same. It's fairly straightforward. The only difference, I guess, is the connector. Now the connector is different. So compared to the other one, which uses like a standard lure connector, you cannot use it in this one. It will not work. How sucky is that? So you have to use a different one, which looks almost exactly the same, which does technically have the same lure connector, but it goes a little bit further and it has an O-ring right there. Now the O-ring will actually seal off all the air that's leaking, and that's how it goes in, just like that. Now I do have a blood pressure cuff that technically I guess goes with it, and this one's metal, and it does have that same thing. The only gripe I guess I have, it's not really that much of a gripe. It kind of sometimes takes a while, at least for me, to put this thing in. It takes a couple of spins, whereas that one is just like half of a turn and that's it. But besides that, it works roughly the same way. I mean, you have your inflator right here, your deflator, your bulb, gauge, everything. So that's basically all I have. They're all very good units. This one costs anywhere from like 80 to 300. So I mean, these are all fairly expensive, and this is more for the, I guess you could say, nurse, or somebody that's not really moving around very much, somebody that really, I don't know, it's not really meant for the paramedic. I guess you could, but I use it. I mean, I like it. It's just user preference. So thank you very much, guys.